Bonjour mes amis. It's 8 AM in the morning. I forget which day it is, maybe Friday. But it's day 2, officially day 2 in France. And this was just a superb wild camping spot. Been in the tent, been approximately horizontal for 12 hours. Most of that time I was blissfully asleep. I'm not completely horizontal, obviously. You always sleep with your head end higher because you know, unless you do find perfectly flat ground. But so that means I was actually making use of what they call inclined bed therapy, which has all kinds of health benefits. You should check it out. That's the way I came in, by those log stacks there. So I'm probably going out that way. And last night I could see the light pollution from Rouen, which is a big city, just filling this whole part of the sky. I could hear the motorcycles and the sirens, so that's the way I'm headed. Pack the gear up, get it on the bike, we'll have a look around Rouen, and then we'll smash out another 50 miles. Oh, which fucking way do we go here? Right? I don't know. Probably left. Definitely left. Wow, it's the first time on this trip I've had that Wild West feeling. Rolling into some nameless town. Haven't washed in days. The horse is knackered, the rider's knackered. Don't speak the language. So the priorities right now are finding some water and finding like an internet cafe or something so I can update Julie, update mum and dad. There's gonna be some descending. It's a good thing about the bicycle, even with the bags on, you fit through pretty much any gap that a wheelchair or like a pushchair maybe, you fit through the same gap. What the hell's this? Some kind of barrier. I think we'll give that a miss. Doesn't matter what country you're in, the matrix always looks the same, doesn't it? That's why I'm happy about living in Avalon. See, it's a small town and it's very unmatrixy. Most of the architecture is really old, so it's before what I truly think of the matrix, the artificiality of everything. Really got into the kind of things that we see nowadays, right? Going left, that's pretty sensible. And wait for the lights like a good cyclist. So English in the left lane, I really need to be in that right hand lane. The pumping heart of Rouen's old town, as you can probably tell by the architecture. I don't know, I don't think any of them are open. What the hell? Bonjour. Wi-Fi gratuit. So there was no internet. There was no internet on the boat, which means I have a message from ma petite loutre. Are you all right, ma petite loutre? Could you cross the border? Oh, I'm going to show you this picture. This is how Julie evidently imagines my trip. It's an otter with a kind of touring bicycle by the side of the sea, looking very happy. That is priceless, thank you my love. Oh my god, she sent me loads of stuff. Oh my god, look at this shit, this is amazing. Nothing like the reality, but it's so beautiful. That bike is massive, isn't it? It's a bit too big for that otter. I've lost my 44-day streak on Duolingo, because even though I had the streak freeze on, I've obviously not done it for 2 days, right? So here we go, oh no, look, 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 0 points. But, you know, I'm in the Obsidian League. It's the first time I've ever gone down a league from the Diamond League. That's just shocking. Where am I? Petit Lude, number 37. We're not going to get demoted from Obsidian. Just no one does anything in the Obsidian League. Look, even the top guy's only got 1600. Check it out, guys. There's a very sketchy looking dude stood by my bike. Look behind these two ladies. There he is. Silver moustache, little baseball hat. Stood just by the front wheel of my bike. He's walking away now. He's adjusting his fine silver moustache. We're keeping a close eye on that guy. Merci. Bonjour. Mon vélo, ouais.
Extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire.
Waouh. Oh la vache, tout le monde le regarde.
Je bois un café.
Oui.
Je suis anglais, je comprends un peu de français.
Everybody is looking after Jeanne d'Arc and your bike.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like, oh, it must have an engine, it must have a motor in it, right?
Wow. Where are you going?
Je vais à Paris demain.
Oui.
Paris à demain.
En vélo.
En vélo.
Ouais.
Et,
Par la campagne?
Par la campagne, through the countryside.
Yes.
Ouais.
Not by the highway.
Non, non, non. Je dors dans la forêt.
Oui.
Dans
Ouais,
ma tente. Ma tente, mon tente.
Ma tante.
Ma tente.
Ma tante.
Après Paris, 3 jours, 18 km par jour.
18, c'est pas beaucoup.
18?
180.
80.
90.
90, what did I say?
90.
What's 18?
100.
Oh, 18.
Voilà. 18, c'est 80.
18.
18.
90.
90 km. Magnifique.
These numbers.
Waouh.
3 jours,
de 90.
90
Oui.
km, j'arrive à Avalon, en Bourgogne.
Oui.
Oui.
Pourquoi Avalon en Bourgogne?
Pourquoi?
Ouais.
Pour habiter avec ma petite copine.
Waouh. Elle est française?
Elle est française, oui.
Oui. Et elle habite à Avalon?
Elle habite maintenant à Londres,
Oui.
mais nous voulons habiter à Avalon
C'est extraordinaire.
for the rest of our lives.
C'est vrai?
C'est vrai.
Bravo. Bonne chance. Good luck
Merci.
for you, for both of you.
Your English is good.
Wow.
Au revoir, madame.
Allez, au revoir.
Bonne journée.
Bonne chance. Bonne journée.
We live in a very welcoming and supportive universe. And if you don't believe that, it's your belief which needs to change and not the universe. And this is the old Notre Dame Cathedral. Seems to be a feature in a lot of French cities. The Virgin Mary is held in higher esteem than the big man, the big JC himself. So she always gets the fanciest building, right? That is a hell of a fucking building. Le marché. Turn the wrong way. It's a bit bumpy there. That is not what you want to see when you look around. Fucking bus right next to you. Well, let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, look at that, perfect. Hey. Okay, I am once again coming back down to the river level into a place called Igoville or Igoville, this place. And I am desperate to find some bottled water. I haven't had a drink since Rouen. And I've hardly drunk anything today. There just haven't been any shops or even petrol stations on my route. Mademoiselle, pardon. Je trouvais un magasin pour acheter une bouteille d'eau. Oui.
Vous partez par là-bas.
Partez là-bas, over there.
Après, vous avez un rond-point.
Rond-point.
Et la première à droite.
Première à droite.
Vous avez un Super U.
Merci bien.
Bonne journée, au revoir.
Definitely, definitely. Roundabout, first right, there's a supermarket. Is this a roundabout? Does that count as a rond-point in France? We've got a red light. Got a red light here. Just gonna put my foot up. We got. Oh. There we go. Just had to wait for those guys to get there on the other side, see? Le supermarché. Je suis une petite lutte très heureuse. What the fuck? Well, as the sign says, it's La Seine. And this is the first time that I'm crossing it onto the south side. And the reason I'm doing this is I'm kind of cutting straight in that direction to avoid going all the way over there with the river and then all the way back down there. Bit of a more direct route. Okay, we're going down here now. Okay, so I've obviously eaten a whole packet of kiwi fruits now. Organic, perfectly ripe, and believe it or not, grown in France. Probably under glass, but this is top of the tree as far as I'm concerned for this kind of job. So I've eaten 5 of the kiwis. One of them just fell on the floor, so I've given that to the Zekire. I've now got a bag of sultanas and a bag of almonds, which hopefully that's going to last me for 2 days. And I've got a bunch of almost ripe bananas. Now the way you can tell that this banana is almost ripe is because it's yellow. If you think that this is a ripe banana, you're wrong. Sorry, this is not a ripe banana. But I choose the yellow ones when I'm traveling because obviously they've got to be edible, but they've got to be pretty tough. If you put ripe bananas, that's the really brown spotty ones, in these panniers, they're going to get squashed. So we go with the yellows. Bonjour. Bonjour. Now, which one do you think it is? Holy shit, we need some brakes there. Bonjour. I'm gonna check this GoPro's on. Yeah. So it's a mad detour, like loads of energy to get up that hill into the woods there, and a big time penalty, but I'll take that over just following the river or just following the main road any day. You know, it's worth it for the thrill of the descent. I got to see all these kids, most of them were youth actually, doing their little rally event up there, whatever they were doing on their bikes. It just breaks it up, breaks up the monotony of following the river. That's what the one other time that I've been cycle touring in France with my sister and her boyfriend, we spent a lot of time following a river. I'm not exactly sure which one it was. It's the one that, whatever it is, that goes south from Cherbourg, and we followed it for, I think, best part of 6 days. I mean, it was probably more like 3 or 4 days we were actually following the river, but I think it's just a bit more interesting to break it up. More effort, like I say, more effort, more time, but just a bit more interesting. Hello there. Hello there. So look at the map. There should be a bridge up here. I'm going to cross back over the river. No sign of any bridge yet. Let's check this out. Okay, I don't know what I've just climbed over there, but there should be a crossing back there somewhere. A lot of brakes, cheers. I was too busy looking at the river, I was missing all this. Check it out. So this is what the Seine is like south of Rouen. There's no docks, no factories right next to the river, no factories anywhere, no barges and no cargo ships. So Rouen is the last kind of industrial stop on the river. I've just noticed my distance to destination counter in meters has started going up, so that means I've finished stage 3. And I've actually begun stage 4. So what we're going to do is have a little break. I think I've done 45 kilometers today. Yeah, 45k. And then I've got now stage 4, 4e étage. So I'm like halfway through today. It's 4:30. Man, I've been slacking big time. I sat in that cafe in Rouen for about 2 hours. That was after getting on the road maybe at 9:30. So it took a little bit of time to get down into Rouen. I didn't leave Rouen until about 12 or just after. That is disappointing. I'm going to be riding into the night. It's my own silly fault. But anyway, you know, we live in the moment, we live in the now. And the most important thing now is stuffing my face with sultanas and almonds once more. Yeah, it'd probably be quicker on the tarmac, but it's more fun off-road. Holy shit! My wheels chose different ruts that time. What the flip? Oh my god! Yes, it's the off-road option for me every time, boys and girls. Villiers-sur-le-Lille. According to this, I've almost found my way back to the river. The funny thing is, I've been climbing for the last 2 kilometers, so the closer I get to that river, the shorter and steeper that drop's going to be. Where is this trail? Oh yes. One more thing. The descent is going to be an off-road descent. Looks like a steep one, so make sure everything's running. I won't be taking my hands off the brakes down here, I don't think. Man, don't get out of shape, don't get out of shape. Hey! What's going on here? We're going left. So I was about to say, if I can maintain my customary 15 kilometers an hour, I should be able to do this in under 2.5 hours. Je suis sur le pont. Oh my God. This is where my route goes. I think that sign said South Véhicule Agricole, except for agricultural vehicles. So I'm going to justify this intrusion by saying that I'm on a two-wheeled tractor. Right, that's a fucking pond. Could be worse, right? I could be doing this on foot. The water's clear enough that I can see to the bottom, so I can see if it's going to get really dodgy, but I don't really want to put a foot down in this. Currently doing 4 kilometers an hour. No sweat. Stay to the right for this one. Yeah, I've got my foot on the bank. I'm going to push this one. It's just got very difficult. There's the bridge back there, that's how far I've come. The floor is really, look at it, it's saturated. But I can see what I believe is the end, so fuck it, I don't know. We'll carry on a little bit further. This is very hard work. Back wheel's not even turning properly. It's just, this mud is so sticky. It's getting stuck inside the mud guard, I guess. This is what happens when the ego is determined to follow that beautiful off-road route that you designed. You've got to know when it's time to say, do you know what, I'll just stick to the tarmac. Let's see. Official sunset is in 40 minutes and I've got 34 kilometers left to do, which I can just about do in 2 hours if I'm riding on tarmac. It got so much easier when I acknowledged that this is an ego thing, and the track's drying out a bit there. So I think we're gonna head back down there. I'm listening, I'm paying attention. I am learning slowly. Right, I think we can ride again. I don't know, it's so slippery. For me, this is what adventuring's all about though. You gotta test yourself, right? Hardest part of the journey so far by a long way, and completely self-inflicted. Right, I'm just going to look for mud, basically. It's not a good lubricant. Other than that, everything looks pretty good. Still got plenty of lube on it. Uh-oh, just ran out of hard track back into Mudsville. If it was about, you know, just after lunchtime, this might be good fun. But technically it's probably dinner time right now. See, I've got to live with my initial bad decision now. And this is almost rideable. This surface is much firmer actually than that thoroughly ploughed field I was formerly in. It's so hard to control on this mud. You know, even pushing the thing along, the back end's sliding one side to the other, and you can imagine with my body weight on it as well. And putting some torque through the rear wheel. But things are getting better. At least we know the water table's there. A little bit lower than what I'm riding on. I feel good though. Je me sens vraiment bien. I feel much better than I have any right to do, having done as much riding as I have. I guess it's because there's still 32.3 kilometers left to do. I've got no option other than to feel good and up for a challenge. You can see civilization up ahead there. So I know I'm nearly out of the mud situation. I'm going to try and ride again now. And of course I've got the option, and I'm seriously considering it, to stop early, eat and get to sleep, set an alarm, get up early tomorrow, and make up the mileage that I miss out today. Depends what the weather does. If it really starts to rain, I think I'm going to be forced to put my tent up and cook in the doorway type of thing. But I really don't want to do that because tomorrow is Paris. I want to get to Paris at a reasonable time. I mean, it's going to be Sunday in Paris, right? It's going to be mad. Okay, not commuter mad, but tourist mad at least, right? It's going to be probably an exciting time to be in Paris. But yeah, that's my option. I might stop and camp. Hello there. Hello there. Nice hair. I might stop early. It's very nearly 6 o'clock. I've done 10k in the past hour, but I'm definitely gonna stick to tarmac now, and I'm definitely gonna do the remaining 30k in 2 hours. Okay, so learning from my mistakes, so I'm going to ignore that and head on the tarmac back to the main road. There'll be no triumphing over that mud section. I did finally get there, I stuck with it, but you know, to triumph over that would be the egoic way, wouldn't it? So we're going to learn from it instead. So I'm currently doing 18, almost somewhere around 18k per hour. It's currently 9 minutes past 6, and some time ago I thought that 8 PM was realistic arrival, so I'm kind of still on course for that, especially if I now stick to the tarmac. Hello there. But if I can get there for 8 PM, stuff my face, put out a tent and get in my sleeping bag by, let's say, 9 PM, set an alarm for 7 AM, we could be in Paris pour le déjeuner. Shit. So where that car just pulled out, that's where my little off-road adventure technically would have ended. That's where my intended route rejoined the tarmac. So I've just saved a bunch of time by taking the main road there. 23 kilometers left to do, but I'm actually doing 23 kilometers an hour right now. It's getting dark and the drizzle is kind of sustained now, so I'm going to put the cameras away and I'll update you hopefully when I get to the camp in exactly 1 hour's time. Well, I've done it, my friends. I have made it to the end of day 2. I can't really show you properly how impressive this wood is, but it is really a magnificent place. I'm not going to do a full recap now, I just want to get the tent up and start cooking, but the last 10k there was a big climb, and obviously it's dark so I couldn't see how big this hill was that I was climbing, and I just kept going up and up and up. When I reached the top I could see, you know, towns both sides all lit up, so it took some work getting up there. And then I rode along the spine of this range of hills for the last little bit, just maybe the last 5k. and eventually I turned off, came into this wood, had to push it the last little way because it got a little bit muddy. Not serious mud because we're on top of a massive hill here, so it's not terrible mud, you know. And I came into this wood, and as soon as I got here I felt safe. It felt like I was home. Right? Woods in the dark. You usually think of them as being scary places, right? Because you've seen the Blair Witch Project. The only thing that worries me slightly is I can hear these branches up here clacking together in the wind. I mean, there's a hurricane outside of this wood, there's a hurricane, but in here it's really not that bad. Only the tops of the trees are stirring. But there's a lot of deadfall. A lot of deadfall everywhere. So, I mean, look at this. Look at all the chaos in here, right? All these trees lying down, but it doesn't feel like my day to die. I'm going to set my camp right here, set my tent right about here. So if any of that oak comes down, that's going to be bad. But it's, you know, there's nowhere to pitch where it isn't under a tree. Do you know what I mean? I mean, this forest is never silent. There's always something creaking or squeaking out there. Just the wind acting on the trees. And there was a point where, just as I was pitching the tent, I looked up and I saw a light off in the distance, and I froze. And I thought, do you know what? It might just be the eyes of an animal, right? Because they got reflective eyeballs. So I thought, what I'll do is I'll turn my light off, and if that light doesn't go out, then I know there's someone out there watching me set up my camp. And so I killed my light. But almost at exactly the same moment, the light I was looking at off there in the distance went out as well. But it wasn't so exactly at the same moment that I could be certain that it was my light being reflected back to me by something's eyes. It might have just been that they had the same idea at the same time. You know, eventually when I was getting ready to cook, I decided to just put my little USB camp light on a stick. So if there is anyone out there, well, they're welcome to come and join me. They do have wild boar in France, so it's like the worst thing I could meet, the worst wild animal I could meet is a wild boar. But I think it's going to be the classic scenario that they're more afraid than curious, aren't they? Je m'entends des chouettes. Elles chantent la nuit. This has definitely been one of the best days of my life. And yesterday was pretty good too. And tomorrow is probably going to be even better. I'm just so grateful for everyone who's supported me, had my back. I'm just so grateful for this experience. I'm going to leave it there. This is probably a very long video. So if you made it this far, I'm grateful to you too for watching. See you in the morning.